We are harvesting again, and we're harvesting some new things in the indoor grow space. We're going to harvest collard greens as well as cucumbers. And I'm going to give you an update on those onions. Hello and welcome to Kim's Cozy Corner. We are going to look to see how our seedlings are doing, and we're going to have to adjust a few things. It has been a few weeks since we planted our onion, and we planted our onion. Let's see where we planted. When we planted the onion. So I got my garden journal here, and I wrote down when we planted the onion. The onion was planted on 1/19. Today is February 2nd. So 12, 13, 14. It's been 2 weeks. And within 2 weeks, most of these should have germinated by now. And this is one of the reasons why I only do one container of my onion when I first plant them, because if I get poor germination, I need time to make some arrangements and do some things a little differently here. This right here, this is supposed to be red Creole. Let me turn it around. This is supposed to be red Creole. I got nothing. So we're going to switch it to something else. I'm going to add a couple more containers here. This right here didn't produce very well either. This one right here did not produce very well, nor did some of the rest of these. So what we're going to do, everything over here is looking good, looking really, really good. And everything over here, with the exception of I believe, one seed, all of these are from seeds from this year, all of them. This is a seed from last year, and this is a seed from last year. And germination is horrible. And these other ones are from seeds from 2 years ago. Germination was horrible. So we're going to put some new seeds in for the onion. These are good. They're ready to go. And these we are going to replace. So what I did, and yellow sweet onion are my favorite onion. Yellow sweet onion, let me show them to you. I looked, the seeds that I used for the yellow sweet onion, I used seeds from 2023. It's 2025. Onion seeds do not germinate well when they start getting very old. So I went into my seed starting journal. If you're interested in a copy of the seed starting journal, links will be below. I made this book for me to help me with how I'm thinking about my garden and what I need. So it's for me, but it's on Amazon if you're interested. This is volume 2, actually. So I went in here in my garden notes for onion, and I made a note. So my yellow sweet onions from the year 2023, I got 0 germination. I needed to toss all of those seeds out, and I'm switching them now to the 2024. So we will see if the 2024 seeds do a better job for me. And also, the Parma and the Globo, Parma and Globo, these 2 seeds right here, boy, I got that light so bright. These 2 seeds right here are from 2023 as well. Poor germination, but I don't have any more seeds, so I don't have a choice but to use these seeds. The red ones are from 2024. I did get some germination, but not much of this one. So we're going to replant some of these seeds. I'm also, since yellow sweet onions are my favorite onions, and since these seeds right here are so old, I mean, well, they're a year old. They're not that old. I'm going to do 1 tray of that one and 1 of these new seeds from Homegrown yellow sweet onion. What is it called? Yeah, yellow sweet Spanish onion, just to see if there's a difference in seeds for this year versus seeds from last year. I think that's it. So let's get these planted, and we got some other things we need to plant as well, and we need to harvest. So I tell you what, we will harvest on this video. You want to harvest with me? Mm-hmm. Say hello to everybody. Hi. This is Alicia. Alicia is going to help me. We're going to get these onion seeds planted, and we're going to harvest from the indoor grow space. So the first one we're going to work on is this one right here. Okay. It looks like I got 6. Mm-hmm. I think I planted like 20. Oh my. So we're going to plant 20 more. Everybody really wants more red onion this year, so we are going to try our best to give them more red onion. stay over the table, and sprinkle them one here, there. Don't do it all at one time. And I am going to add some more Utah Sweet Spanish onion. Here's a picture of Utah Sweet Spanish onion. And I have two kinds. I have some from MIGardener from his seed shop, but I also have some of his homestead collection, which is, I believe, where he grows right there on his property. And so we're going to grow some of those as well. I got to have plenty of onion, y'all. I cannot run short on onion. So that's why I'm going ahead and doing another one. Keep them all right there in that one, okay? The Creole Red didn't produce at all, zero germination. And I don't have another supply. I don't have extra seeds. So we are not going to waste any more time on the Creole Red onion. I want Globo so bad. And I've gotten Globo the last 2 years from this seed pack. So I might not get any germination, but we're going to plant the whole pack, because I don't have any more and I have nothing to lose at this point. Put every one of them in that one. We're working together. We're working as a team. You can plant your onions very close together. It will not hurt them. They don't get messed up when you're separating the roots from one another. So there's nothing wrong with planting your onion super close together. And we're going to get these growing. So we got plenty of onion this upcoming year. So Yellow of Parma, which is this one right here. It's still trying to come up, but I'm not taking any chances. We're going to add to it. Yellow of Parma are seeds that are already 2 years old. And that's, again, probably the reason why we're having some issues. So this is the second round of seeds. I need to make another note in my little journal here that I started seeds twice. And that way we will be able to keep track of which ones are doing, how well each of them are doing. I really should should I put a couple more Alyssa Craig in there?
Yeah.
I keep saying Alyssa Craig. I know that's wrong. Elsa, not Alyssa. Elsa Craig. I know somebody's going to correct me in the comments anyway. Elsa Craig. I know it's Elsa Craig. I've been saying Elisa for so long, it's hard to bring it back. I'm going to plant 2 or 3 more in this one as well. Okay. The reason why I do that is because I got an Elisa sitting right beside me. That's why. I got an Elysia sitting beside me, and I just have a hard time saying Elsa instead of Elisa. All right.
This one?
Yep, that's the one. I'm going to just quickly toss them so we can get to that harvest, y'all. We need to harvest. Y'all, we're going to harvest some new stuff too today. I like this. We're in between, right? We got our indoor garden. We setting up for our outdoor garden. There's just so much going on. Some seeds need light to germinate. Some do not. Unfortunately, my space has light in it, so everything's going to get light to germinate, whether it needs it or not. That could be one of the issues that I'm having. And if it is, we'll get through it, y'all. We'll get through it. Y'all look at this big old stick. This big old stick from my Miracle Grow seed starting mix. But that's all right, y'all, because I got my Jiffy. I'm a Jiffy girl. I got my Jiffy mix. You don't have to use seed starting mix, but I do. Onion can go out about 2. Another stick. Look at that.
Oh my.
Look at that.
That hurts.
Onions can go out 2 to 3 weeks before your last frost. And you need about 8 weeks indoors if you're starting from seed before you put them out. I grow a mixture between long day, intermediate day, or day neutral. And I do every now and then grow a short day. I'm in zone 6B. That's a limb. They put the whole tree in there.
My.
The whole tree in this one.
Oh my.
And I can grow some short day, but typically I grow day neutral and long day onion. I like to lightly press them down. I don't think you have to do it, but I like to do that just to keep the seeds from moving around. Not that I'm going to do a lot of top watering. Mostly everything's going to be watered from the bottom, but I prefer to give them just a light press. All right. So we got our second round of onion to make up the difference from the ones that didn't germinate the first time. Now, This was really supposed to be about harvesting, but I just wanted to show you my onion and I got carried away. So we are going to go and harvest from the indoor grow space. Okay, y'all, it's harvest time. I have been away again for another week, right?
Yes.
This is what, week 3 away?
Yep.
I've been away for 3 weeks and only coming home for a day or two before I'm pulling back out. And the last week I was here, I was looking, and these collard greens behind me, y'all, they need to be harvested. It'll be for a very small meal, but it will be a meal. You like collard greens?
Yep.
Okay. All right. We are going to harvest Champion collard greens and Georgia collard greens. And they're growing behind me here. Let me actually show you before I start harvesting them. I mean, we are in a tight spot, but let me show you the whole area. You can see it's not many growing, but it's enough for a small meal. All right, so on the bottom shelf in my indoor grow space, there are collard greens growing in this space right here. It's one planter. It's just one planter that has 5 or 6 collard greens in it. And over here are Champion collard greens. And on this side over here are Georgia collard greens. And we are going to harvest both of those today. Since we're in such a tight space, I will break a few of the leaves off and I'll show them to you as we're putting them in a harvest basket. And my grow tent is a 4x8, but I'm only 4 feet wide from here to the back wall here. And that's the space we're working in. But we're going to get it done, right?
All right.
Okay. All right. Let's get the Champion collard greens first. Aren't those some pretty leaves? Look at that. Y'all, I'm growing collard greens indoors. Can y'all believe that? Some of these I could have waited another couple of weeks on, but in order to enjoy a meal now, I'm taking all of them, y'all. I like them when they're nice and young like this right here. And these Champions, they don't get as thick and leathery and meaty. These melt in your mouth. So these are Champion. Now, they're still not as good as the Morris Heading collard greens. And somebody told me that the vat collard green is just as good. And we're going to grow those outdoors this year for the first time. I've never grown collard greens indoors, so I'm super excited about this. And now we're going to look at the Georgia. And y'all, I'm not crazy about a Georgia collard green. I just don't like the way it grows. And I'm sure the leaves would be bigger if I was outdoors, like a wider leaf than growing indoors. I mean, and I'm growing them under a shop light, y'all. I'm not even growing under a grow light. There's a couple places where they got too close to the light and they went bad, so I can't use those. I like the way the Champion stayed closer to the ground, you know, smaller leaf. Like I waited too long on this one here. It's all green or yellow and dying, but it was ready and nothing else was, so we couldn't use it. The Champion is doing better indoors for sure than the Georgia collard greens. I think these are Georgia. Yeah, they're Georgia. Yeah, I got green beans growing everywhere, honey. We're going to be harvesting green beans next week. Okay. All right, y'all. There's our small collards meal. Look at that, y'all. I grew collards indoors. We grew collards indoors. Look at those collard greens, y'all. Look at that. I mean, it's not a big meal. I'm not going to freeze them, right? I don't have enough to put up. But this is enough for a meal. That's one less thing I'm buying from the grocery store. You going to help me eat some collard greens?
Yep.
Look at that, y'all. We got collard greens. All right. That's not the only thing we're harvesting today. We are also going to harvest peppers. And next week, green beans. But I do have green beans. They're growing. Here's a little baby one right here. And there's some bigger than that behind me. But today is not a green bean day. Today is peppers. Peppers. Let's get to the peppers. Last week, this thunderbolt was green. It is red now. Now, usually, y'all, my thunderbolts are like 12 inches long. But we are indoors. So nonetheless, we're going to take it and we are going to enjoy it. All right, so that's a thunderbolt. Let's see what else we're going to get. And I'm still, from a maintenance standpoint, I am still spraying my GreenStalk at least once a week just for maintenance because I did have that issue with spider mites. Haven't seen any other issues, but I don't want them to come back. So once a week, I give them a spray. I keep checking to make sure they're okay. I have no idea what this is. Whatever it is, it matured way too fast, but we still going to eat it. It's some kind of little bell pepper, but it's tiny. But we are, yes, thank you for showing everybody. Here's a red bell pepper. Let's see what kind of red bell pepper it is. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. But there's a red bell pepper. Look at that, red bell pepper. And it's smelling kind of sweet. All right, we're going to keep going around. That one's no good. It rotted on the vine. All right, I found one more down here. It says Thunderbolt. That's the smallest Thunderbolt I've ever seen. But it says it's a Thunderbolt. But it's turning red. And that's it down low. But I have a couple up high we're going to get. And then we will just keep right on harvesting. Because there's some lettuce over there that needs my attention as well. So let's move on up. All right, we're getting ready to get this one right here. And y'all, it said it was a mixed bell pepper. But y'all, I know as a matter of fact that this is a yellow monster. And I can't wait. I'm going to go ahead and harvest it now. I'm double checking my leaves while I'm in here as well, just to make sure we don't have any issues. And I'm only harvesting red peppers. And there are others in here. They're just not red or orange or whatever color they need to be. Some of these peppers have been going for 2 years now, and I no longer know what they are. The names tags have been gone a long time, if you know what I mean. So some of these, I can't tell you what they are. I know they're all sweet though. And I just harvested last week. So being able to harvest 2 weeks back to back like this is pretty cool. No, nothing's hot. Those are Jimmy Nardellos. All right, I think that's it from a pepper standpoint. Now let's get over here to the lettuce. And yes, I harvest lettuce every week. Okay, so we're at the other GreenStalk. And y'all, I have some butter crunch we're going to harvest today. A head. Oh, can I wait another week? Can I wait a week? So this is wilting away, so we're going to harvest it. This is Lantus Winter. I harvested a head last week, harvesting another head this week. And Lantus Winter, staple. There you go. I'm trying to be careful. So my two planters are very close together. But I have some Merlot right here. I'm going to harvest a little Merlot. And I have options, y'all. I can harvest more than what I'm going to harvest, but I'm going to be out of town again. We gave a whole bunch away last week. I don't have that many more people asking for lettuce right now, but here's just a little bit of Merlot. And we're going to harvest this one right here. This is a butter crunch. I have multiple butter crunches. There's a little bit of butter crunch. There are 2 heads of butter crunch right here, 2 in this pocket. I'm not going to harvest that, but I am going to harvest the rest of this up here. I harvested last week from up here. This is slow bolt, but it's been up here a long time, y'all, and it's ready to go to seed. So I want to get this harvested before it goes to seed. When your lettuce goes to seed, it gets bitter. So there's some slow bolt. And I think that's all we're going to harvest today from a lettuce standpoint. But y'all, we are going to harvest cucumbers as well. So let's head over to the cucumbers so you can see what my indoor cucumbers look like. We are now upstairs at the hydroponic systems, and I'll give you an update on the systems as well as harvest one little piece of lettuce here and some cucumbers. The first thing that I'm going to do is just show you how they're doing. In this system right here, this is lettuce that I have not harvested yet and is going to seed because I let it stay in here too long. That's Pablo. We're going to get that harvested. There's some lettuce that I planted, I think 2 weeks ago. It's coming up now. And this right here is spinach. It's long and leggy because I forgot to lower the light. I left the light way up there when it needed to be down here. I need to bring that light down. And then I believe this will continue to grow. I'm going to go ahead and harvest these couple pieces of spinach. And then hopefully the next round will be a a shorter, bushier harvest. That's what we're going to do to that one. Moving over here. Y'all, this thing is amazing. I'm going to turn the light on and let's see if I turn the light on, if you can see how it's doing. I have blooms on all of the tomato plants over here. There are little bitty tomatoes over here as well. And then, y'all, we got cucumbers. There are cucumbers in here. And we're going to get in there and we are going to harvest those cucumbers. And this cucumber plant is growing up above the light and growing up into my pitcher and around the pitcher. But I'll harvest cucumbers from anywhere, y'all. I'm an equal opportunist. So let's get those cucumbers harvested. There you go. Look at that. Quick snack cucumber. It's going to have a very little to no seed cavity because it's so small. And this is the perfect size to harvest it. I believe we have 2 more to harvest. There's another good one, and there's one more. You see it? And there's the third one. 3 cucumbers growing indoors without a pollinator. These cucumbers don't need a pollinator. They will pollinate themselves, and you can have fresh cucumbers in the winter. Now that was just our first harvest of cucumbers in the indoor grow space. It's February, y'all, and we're harvesting cucumbers indoors. And there's a ton more in there that are blooming and growing. So maybe in another week or so, we'll be harvesting more cucumbers. But let's get this last head of lettuce over here, and Elise is going to get that for me. And I'll do this one. Here we go, and I'll pick it all up together. Now this is supposed to be Pablo. It's supposed to make a head, but it started growing straight up and making, like, going to seed flowering. So we're gonna go ahead and get it out. It's crispy like iceberg lettuce, and it's got an excellent taste, and it usually has a little red around the edges, but it went straight up. I've never grown heading lettuce like this in my hydroponic system before, but whether it heads or not, it's still lettuce. And I'm going to go ahead and take care of this spinach. I'm going to cut it way back here, and hopefully it'll keep coming up the middle of the plant here. And we will bring this light down. Keep going, because we got to go all the way down because all of our plants are way down here. Your light should, that's good. Your light should be just above the plants that you're growing. And I'm trying to grow some plants here and here. All right, y'all, this is the harvest for today. We got a ton of lettuce as usual. Got some spinach to go with it. We got collard greens, cucumbers, peppers. We got everything we need for a salad. Now this is a week's worth of food for my family, and we don't have to go to the grocery store. But that's it for today. Elise and I are happy that you joined us for the video. If you enjoyed the video, please give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. Until next time, and I hope there will be a next time that you hang out with me at Kim's Cozy Corner. Bye.